Sophie Cunningham was assaulted on the basketball court today, and then the woman who assaulted her, DiJonai Carrington, immediately went on Threads and tweeted out white privilege at Indiana Fever. Here's a look at the flagrant 2 that got DiJonai kicked out of the game, which is the most flagrant 2 foul I've ever seen in my life. She wound up, she didn't even go for the ball, she hit Sophie Cunningham in the head. It is the most obvious flagrant 2 in the history of flagrant 2s. All right. And yeah, I forgot to crop out the Grubhub notification. Don't be mean in the comments. DiJonai goes, Thread says white privilege. The WNBA is hilarious. It's unbelievable. They give us headlines every single day. Yesterday, not even 24 hours ago, Enes Kanter declared for the WNBA draft. And it's already old news. DiJonai was just involved in a situation where she exposed her ex for cheating on her with rookies on the team that her ex was on, Alyssa Smith. It's the funniest league in the world. She assaulted Sophie Cunningham and then went on Threads and said white privilege. In any league, that is a flagrant 2. Any league.
So Gabby Williams, a WNBA star, just announced that she would welcome a trans athlete on her team or against her team. And that's just so wild because there is a known fact that there are biological disadvantages that women have. We are not as fast. We are not as strong. And when is the last time you've seen a WNBA player dunk? And it's wild. I feel like women, we are the reason that we're in this predicament. For some reason, we just love to enable these misogynistic men to fill our spaces. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like men at this stage are fighting harder for women than women are actually fighting for ourselves. Enes Kanter Freedom, a prior first-round pick, just trolled the internet and said that he will be declaring his position for the WNBA draft in 2027. He meets all of the requirements. He's now identifying as a woman. Let's check out what he had to say.
After careful consideration and reviewing the current eligibility guidelines, I am officially declaring myself a WNBA prospect. If simply declaring who you are is all that's required, then I meet every single requirement necessary to compete in the WNBA. My team and I have carefully examined the WNBA's eligibility criteria and governing framework surrounding self-identification and inclusion.
Yes, I don't know a lot about sport, but I have common sense. Looking at these, just in, WNBA commissioner announces the league is meeting to review what a woman is after multiple former NBA stars are now planned to join the league. So this is a topic of discussions. We are supposed to sit, have a meeting to really look into the definition of a woman. This is concerning. This lady have been standing up against people who says trans should be allowed in women's sport. And immediately she was attacked. Well, if you take a look at this, WNBA player blames white privilege after being ejected for a hard fall on Sophie. She was given a flagrant 2 fall and was immediately ejected. She then apparently rushed to the locker room so she could blame white privilege.
I don't think that DiJonai intentionally came out to get her across the neck like she did, but it did happen, and I thought it was the right call. But one of the things about Nay is that she's going to play her butt off, man. She's going to compete. Nobody's going to go walking in for a layup, and so I don't oppose the hard foul, but I also don't think that she intentionally went for the neck.
KK, you were at Sophie right after. What was your view of the play, and of course, why did you choose to do that?
I mean, just to protect her. That's it. I mean, I got my teammate back always, so just to get out of the way.
Gotta ask about her response. She went in and she got on social and said white privilege after her getting
Who did this?
DiJonai did. Any response to that?
No, I don't know anything about that.
DiJonai Carrington is such an unserious person, because what do you mean you commit a flagrant 2 and then you go to Threads and play the victim?
Now trying to prevent the layup, but that is just injury.
Like, that was such a clear flagrant 2. Like, clearly she almost took Sophie's head off, and I don't even like Sophie, and she got me on this internet defending Sophie. Like, but that was a clear flagrant 2. Like, there is no question about it. So the fact that she went to Threads, and anybody called this, like, everybody knew she was about to go to Threads as soon as she got ejected from the game. And then the fact that she tagged the Indiana Fever, what does the Fever got to do with it? The refs are who threw you out the game. It has nothing to do with the fever. And to say white privilege, like, I'm just so confused. You are the one who fouled her. Like, what is not clicking? And it was 100% done on purpose.
You know, what baffles me about this whole thing is the fact that she linked this with race. It had nothing to do with race. Going to the locker room, I expected her to reflect, was it a real fault or not? That's what everybody expected, not coming out to play the race card. It has always been like this. And to me, it gets me on my nerves when I see people always bringing this card every time when something happens to them.
Poked in the eye by DiJonai Carrington. It happened in the first quarter when Clark tried passing the ball to her teammate Aaliyah Boston, but Carrington poked Clark in the eye while trying to deflect the pass. No foul was called, but Clark had to take a second to regain her composure. In the third quarter, DiJonai was defending Caitlin again when Caitlin hit DiJonai in the head, knocking out one of her contacts. No foul was called, but DiJonai had to take a second to put her contact back in. This clip of Angel Reese is going viral for her awkward reaction towards famous actor and Caitlin Clark superfan Jason Sudeikis. In the middle of a timeout during the All-Star game, Jason Sudeikis went up to Angel Reese's team, giving a speech while shaking everyone's hands except Angel Reese's as she looked unamused. That's because back in 2023, when Caitlin Clark beat Angel Reese in the March Madness, Sudeikis was in the stands doing the "you can't see me" hand gesture, trolling Angel Reese for doing the same gesture to...
You can see it clearly. She was not targeting the ball. Creating division and getting rewarded for it has to be called out and everyone see what is going on. People stop being divided before we are taken over because the enemy is counting on these, but don't fall into the trap. This is someone who sent this video to me and I read through all what he said and nothing but the truth. At some point, people disagree, but it should not go to this extent. I understand where the anger is coming from. This lady has been going viral on social media for days now because of her stand when it concerns this issue of allowing trans into this sport, and it has drawn a lot of attention. Yeah. If you see things start going this way, people say like, oh, you are doing this because she said this, she said that, you should obviously understand why people need to be thinking this way.
But DiJonai, you smacked the shit out that lady. White privilege has nothing to do with it. DiJonai Carrington was ejected from the Chicago Sky versus the Indiana Fever game after a very hard foul on Sophie Cunningham. After she was ejected, she then took to threads and posted "white privilege at Indiana Fever." As you can see from this little tweet, that is DiJonai Carrington behind Sophie Cunningham trying to block her shot. I'm going to show you what it looked like when the foul actually occurred. Now, just to warn you, this picture is kind of hard to decrypt and really look at, not because of how physical it was, it's because you cannot find Sophie Cunningham's face. It is currently behind DiJonai Carrington's elbow. She kind of has her in like a clothesline headlock in midair. It was pretty aggressive.
If you look at this with clear eyes, you can see that even black people are not buying it. They're not buying it. They're saying it the way it's supposed to. You know, sometimes we play a lot. We do things like this thinking the community will just bound and start supporting like they have been doing before. But this case is different because if you look at majority of the people who are criticizing this, you will see that black people don't buy it.
On my walk back from there to my car, I was like, you know what? The majority of humans are absolutely amazing. The majority of us are so good. And I don't know why we let that like 5 to 10% of people who are kind of mean and negative alter our brains that like people are bad and our world is crazy, and like, yes, keep your head on a swivel because there are some crazies, but the majority of us are just great humans. So just remember that. Take care of one another and be nice. Cheers. Happy Thursday. That's my squirrel brain thought of the day.
Sophie Cunningham, she said, I got a lot of feedback, negative feedback.
And it's much needed in this country.
As we see trans people's rights being, stripped away from them, there's a lot of discord.
Try to hip up the videos. As of the short clips you see at the end, that's for a white girl. You can always skip.
You're out there with us, group of...
Helen of Troy
It just disgusts me.
When you come for the rest.
Never do this again. California, you can see exactly what's happening. They're
Goes on here in the Golden State.
In 39 days, we will know.
In front of people.
And so this is my life.
You're talking about qualification.
Odysseus.
Telemachus.
This clip of Elliot Page is going to be what takes the Odyssey movie. It's supposed to be a warrior, right? A warrior.
Really fortunate about
above theirs. And we aspire